Good timing. Oh, I have to press got it. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here today for our Abundant Yoga Community annual meeting. And we're going to call this meeting to order, and we're going to follow an agenda that has some reports. And within the reports is when we'll introduce our board and committee members and chairs and teachers. So I'm Lucy Perner, by the way, president of the Abundant Yoga Community. And I'm going to have Tracy share her screen of our PowerPoint slide today. So Tracy, if you could go ahead and do that. All right. And I'm not going to panic here, but I have to, no, I can't find my notes. Exit. Oh.
Like seriously.
Right. Exit full screen. There we go. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so here we have our landing welcome, and you can see one of our quotes from one of the people that has benefited from the work of the Abundant Yoga Community. You can go ahead and read that yourself. I won't read to you. And then on our next screen, we have the agenda. So just a quick look at the agenda, just basically what I said. We're going to call this to order, and then we're going to have our individual reports, and you'll get to meet the board through that process. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Tracy to start with her executive director's report.
Sure. Well, good morning, everyone. So I'm Tracy Mortensen, the executive director of AYC, Abundant Yoga Community. I'm gonna let this sit right here as I'm chatting. So I always like to start this meeting out by just really taking a moment to acknowledge everybody that plays a part in keeping this organization going and growing. So I'd like to thank the board, the committee members, and the volunteers that have played a success in this organization, even those that aren't with us anymore. So we have a lot of new people right now, but we've had a lot of we've had people come and go. So everyone's played a crucial part of this organization being successful. And as the AYC director, it is my role to oversee the general operations and finances, participate in committees, promote and market, as well as build membership. So just a real brief history that the Abundant Yoga Community was in the works years before it was actually formed as an official nonprofit organization in 2019. So through the years of yoga studio ownership, I personally saw a need to help people in underserved populations, such as financial or geographical restraints, and even specific health concerns that prevented them from visiting a commercial yoga studio. And I've known Lucy for years and years, and we talked about this years and years ago, and this was formulating for a good 10 years, I'd say, before we actually formed the organization. So Lucy, who you've heard from, so Lucy is a psychotherapist and trauma-informed yoga teacher. So Lucy also saw a similar need, and then with our shared vision, we partnered up and formed Abundant Yoga Community. So that is what brings us here today, and just a brief year in review. That 2023, sorry, my cat is helping me here. So 2023 has been a year of implementation, visibility, growth, and continued process improvement throughout our organization. And we were able to roll out several yoga programs within the River Falls community, support a library program in Polk County. We walked in the River Falls Days Parade. or some of us ran in the parade. We strengthened our online presence through our website and Facebook posts, increased our revenue, and expanded the size of our board and supporting committees. So I'm so proud of everything this organization has accomplished this past year and in such a short time. So our mission, if you read through this, is to reach people who might have limited access to commercial yoga studios due to financial or geographical constraints. And in addition to that, we help yoga teachers, health workers, schools, and yoga studios bring yoga to more individuals and groups within our communities. So the short of this, I summarize the mission by we really make yoga accessible to all and within our St. Croix Valley. Okay. My mouse is touchy. So where do we provide service? The St. Croix Valley area of Wisconsin and Minnesota. So we go into schools and have provided yoga for students and staff. We go into the community staff. We've worked with social workers, individuals in our local communities, and yoga teachers who teach underserved communities. So this is kind of fun to see if you're a visual. This is something new that we were able to put together to show. We really wanted to narrow down because we wanted to be able to show people where we're actually providing services. And so to the left, you'll see the counties listed, and they're actually listed from the bottom of the map up, because that is actually how we've been spreading the word. We have a lot going on in Pierce County, and we've moved up to St. Croix County. We've brought in a yoga studio from Washington County. We have the library program is in Polk County. And so you can see how we serve Chisago County, Burnett County, Pine, and Douglas. So that is a visual of the counties we serve, which has come in really helpful to have this when people are applying for grants for different programs. Okay. And how are we able to provide the services? Through personal annual memberships, business annual memberships, donations, grants, fundraising, and through our volunteers. So when you're looking at this, anybody can help support Abundant Yoga with a personal membership for as little as $20 a year. All right, let's see. President's Report with Lucy.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, so I'm Lucy, and as the president of the Abundant Yoga community, my role is to help create the agendas, run the executive board meetings, and oversee the committees, the officers, and the administrative operations to be sure that things run smoothly. And in the past year, if you came last year, you know that we had a consultant in service from the St. Croix Valley Foundation that really was a game changer for us. And we gained a lot of momentum in the last year because we reorganized. So our meetings, at the time, we were meeting every month as a board. And what Ann Herzog-Drewski said to us is really where all the work happens is in the committees. So you guys want to put more effort into your committees. So we reorganized, and as promised, we're running a lot more efficiently than we had in the past year and meeting a lot more of our goals. So we've had a couple of administrative changes. Shannon Fruhlman stepped down as the treasurer, and Corey Hildebrandt is serving as the interim treasurer. And we're still seeking a treasurer that has experience working with nonprofits and in the field of finance. Kelsey Kaufman had stepped down in her roles as the vice president and the marketing committee chair, and but is staying involved with AYC as a board member at large and still on the marketing committee. Chelsea Lambert has taken over the position as vice president and the marketing committee chair. And we've also added Wendy Moss, who joined us as a board member at large. So we continue to evaluate our turnover and ask for feedback from our volunteers so we can learn more and more about how to be more sustainable and to have AYC be an organization that feels really fulfilling to volunteer for. We often talk about, does this project bring you joy? And if it doesn't bring you joy, then we have to find somebody who it brings joy to, because as anybody knows, when you do something that you don't really enjoy doing, it's hard to do. So we now have an application process in this awareness of our turnover. We have an application process that includes a description, a better description of the role and estimated time commitment that's required for the role to be done, and an onboarding process to train people in and be sure that they feel supported along the way. And we hope to continue to keep adding more people to support us and to volunteer so that AYC can be an organization that is fulfilling to volunteer for. As the president, I also serve as the chair of the Projects and Proposal Committee. So now I'd like to introduce the board to you. So board members, as you're named, if you can just give a wave or a dance or anything that you like out there. So each committee chair later will let you know what their committee does, and we'll give you an update from last year. So you've already met Tracy. And her role as the AYC executive director is to oversee the general operations, the finances, participate in committees, promote and market, as well as build membership. And Tracy is actively involved in the membership and fundraising committee and the project and proposal committee and the finance committee. So the role of vice president is held by Chelsea Lambert. Chelsea, give a wave, thank you. In this role, Chelsea presides over the AYC meetings when I am not available. She's responsible for updating any bylaws as needed and works with me to learn how to carry out the administrative operations to be sure that everything runs smoothly. Chelsea is also the chair of the marketing and website committee. So Sam Foster, out there with her screen on, awesome, is our secretary extraordinaire, I might add to that. She has really helped get us organized. And her role as secretary involves attending the board meetings, keeping the minutes for those meetings, and she works really closely with me and Chelsea and Tracy to ensure that the board meetings operate in accordance with our bylaws. She also works to ensure that meeting topics, materials, and reports are collected prior to the meeting and prior to the meeting. And once those are collected, those items, in addition to the agenda, are communicated to the board members for their review prior to our meeting. And a big part of her role is maintaining the records of our meetings through meeting minutes. So she's taking notes while we're meeting and being sure that everybody gets the information that they need. And then after meetings, she maintains all of these documents in our shared drive. So at any point, if any of us have any questions, we can go back to the board meeting minutes and we can remember what we talked about. She's been working really hard to streamline our documentation process and has created a drive that removes any barriers to support the work being done by the board and the committees. Sam is also an ad hoc committee member and helps out each committee when needed. So Corey Hildebrandt gives a wave, thank you, is our interim treasurer. Thank you so much for stepping in, and a board member at large. Her role as the treasurer is to oversee all the finances of AYC and to make recommendations to the board concerning assets and liabilities of AYC. She also ensures that an audit of the books is done annually and reports the financial condition of AYC at each board meeting. It is expected by our bylaws that the treasurer also serves as a member of the finance committee. So Corey is also on the finance committee as well as the membership and fundraising committee. Erin Austin, who is not here today, right? She wasn't able to join us. Okay. She's been with us since the inception of AYC as a board member at large, and she was born and raised in River Falls, so loves the community. Erin attends all board meetings and is on the project and proposal committee. And as a professional writer and a language expert, Erin has led the charge in applying for grants for AYC. Also with us nearly from the beginning is Kelsey Kaufman, who returned to the role of a board member at large this spring. She remains on the marketing and website committee and a great support to us. Board member at large, Erin Stamets, also a River Falls native, has been with us for quite some time. I think from the beginning, right, Erin? Right away, yeah. And she serves on the membership and fundraising committee and has previous nonprofit experience and has been really helpful. And when we don't know what we're doing, that we can ask Erin and say, is this right? Consent agenda is one that she really taught us something about. And then Wendy Moss, our newest member of the board, is a board member at large, and she just joined us this summer and has been attending board meetings and is part of the marketing and website committee. So thank you to all the board members and all your commitment and love for AYC. So then I just like to do a shout out to all the volunteers in this last year. So on the marketing and website committee, we have Neely Morrison, Lachenbeau, Rachel Klein, and Julie Damris. And on the projects and proposal committee, we have Marilyn Culver. And teachers who have taught in the programs this last year are Tracy, our executive director, Allie Merrick, Liz Stockman, Tanya Schmidt, and Chantel Doriot. So thank you all for being here today. I'm really grateful for your interest and involvement in AYC. And that will complete the president's report. And you still get me because I am also the chair of the project and proposal committee. So the members of the project and proposal committee are me, Tracy, Erin Austin, and Marilyn Culver. And Marilyn just joined us recently, and she also works with the yoga studio that we are partnering with in Washington County, Healing Within and Wellness Studio. So as the chairperson of this committee, I'd like to share with you what our committee actually does. Okay, so the Project Proposal Committee reports directly to the Board of Directors, and we review grants and scholarships that are submitted from the website. And we follow up with the applicants and present the application to the board for approval if needed. We also follow up with grant, with grant applicants. Once the application is approved and supported, we follow up with the grant applicant. And once the application is approved, we support the applicant, and then we collect data within the project that they're doing. We also create signature AYC programs that can be used in a variety of settings. And we maintain a list of tentative programs that we want to offer. And we also apply for the grants. With Erin being on this committee, we kind of always have our eye out on grants that we could apply for as AYC to support our goals. And we develop and maintain a best practices manual to document the procedures and the flow of AYC. So in this past year, we continued to work with the marketing committee to make our website more user-friendly so people could easily apply for the yoga scholarships and grants for community yoga projects. So as you saw, Tracy had it up in one of the slides. We just recently developed a map, thanks to Aaron Austin's husband, of the areas that we serve in the St. Croix Valley. I'm pretty sure that it might be in the process of being added to the website, so that it can be so that people can apply for. I got a nod on that. It is on the website. I haven't looked at it. Oh, it's not. It's in the process. In the process of being added to the website. So this also just how sometimes we get people applying from all over the United States for our grants for some interesting things, but we want to be sure that our time as the project and proposal committee is used most efficiently to serve our service area. So every time that we create a process in a committee or a board meeting, one of the members of the committee writes up a procedure and flow, and then we add it to what we call the best practices manual. So this really helps the organization keep running smoothly if and when we have turnover, and it also helps us to consistently train new volunteers. So we've developed an evaluation process to give us feedback about the programs and their impact and effectiveness. And we've also created a process for onboarding new board members, volunteers, and partnering studios. So since October of last year, we've funded 6 individual scholarships that allowed community members who may not have the means to attend yoga classes. 3 of those personal scholarships were for a 3-month unlimited membership, and 2 were for a 10-class package at our partner studio, Inspiring Actions. And then one of those individual scholarships was for a 10-class package at our partner studio, Healing Roots and Wellness Center in River Falls. So we're gaining some momentum here too, is that we're continuing to work on the goal of expanding our list of partner yoga studios to increase our community impact. We have 2 partner studios at this time. One is Inspiring Actions, and they have locations in both Hudson and River Falls, and Healing Roots Wellness Center, which is also in River Falls. And we're currently working on partnering with Healing Within Acupuncture and Wellness Studio in Stillwater, Minnesota. So as part of the partnership, we strongly encourage that the studios hold one Karma yoga class, which is a free yoga class per month, and continue to offer yoga to everyone. Currently, Inspiring Action offers a Karma yoga class once a month at each location. So from them, we have them doing 2, and Healing Roots offers a monthly class as well. And these have been really well attended, which is very exciting. And the word is spreading about AYC. So again, if you joined us last year, you might have heard right at that point, we had got news that we won the River Falls Community Foundation Big Ideas Grant. And this was a community health initiative for underserved populations. And the grant was for $10,000. It was pretty exciting for us. And so we have been hard at work creating and running programs with a talented group of teachers to bring our big ideas to the underserved populations in the River Falls community for 2023 and 24. So the ones that we've done so far, or we are doing, I should say, is yoga for community members with limited mobility. And Tracy and Jackie Ross have taught 2 chair yoga series at the Depot in River Falls. And the Depot is a 55+ community, and their marketing director has been really thrilled to work with AYC to bring more yoga experiences to their community and their low-income housing community called 1800. So the next one is the Yoga for Community Members in Recovery. And Ellie Merrick taught a 4-week series, Yoga and the 4 Pillars of Recovery, in the spring of 2023. And there are more classes that are planned for this fall. Next up is the Yoga for Community Members who are survivors of cancer. Liz Stockman completed a 4-week series this summer and is in the middle of teaching the second series. Yoga for Community Teenagers. Tanya Schmidt taught classes at the River Falls High School and the Renaissance Academy during the spring semester of 2023. And meditation for community members at home just started. Chantel Doria just began teaching a 4-week meditation 1 series, and a meditation 2 series will follow that. And these classes are available live and recorded, and eventually they're going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel when the series is complete, so people have continued access to meditation at home. Our plan is to keep these programs running even after the grant money is used. And to do that, significant and sustained fundraising will be key for us. Other projects that we funded this year through AYC grants are an online trauma-informed teacher training specific to rural communities, because that's really the area that we serve. So Erin Austin and I created an online training. It's a 10-hour training to help yoga teachers have access to trauma-informed yoga continuing education. And all teachers who teach for AYC are required to have trauma-informed training. Erin and I created this program to increase yoga teachers' knowledge of the populations that we serve, the importance of trauma-informed techniques, and to reduce any barriers for teachers who actually want to teach underserved populations. It's available through the Inspiring Actions class platform. And so far, 4 people have taken the program since it went live in the spring of 2023. And the marketing committee has plans to market this more robustly in the near future. And then the other grant that we've been working with is Yoga for Underserved Communities in Polk County. And Marie Clark, Tracy has been working really closely with Marie Clark in Polk County. And she is really working on getting yoga to people that don't have access there. It's really kind of a barren yoga area. So she's been working in teaching classes in the libraries in Luck and Milltown, Wisconsin. And she was finding on her own that it just wasn't financially sustainable for her to continue to travel and teach and provide yoga props to her students. So she's applied for 2 AYC grants, which has allowed her to continue to offer classes at the libraries and in the community. And we encourage her to apply for other grants to help her programs be sustainable. In fact, just yesterday, Tracy and Marie submitted an application for a grant to help make her programs more sustainable too. So our goals for this coming year for the project and proposal committee is to build our YouTube video library, to have a variety of yoga and meditation experiences available at no cost, and make the programs that we started through the Big Ideas grant sustainable, and to expand our community outreach by partnering with other yoga studios and local business. So that is my report, and I am overjoyed and honored to be part of the project proposal committee and, of course, AYC. We could always use more help to manifest our ideas. So certainly if you're listening to this, don't hesitate to join us. All right, and moving on, we have Chelsea for the marketing and website committee report. And you unmuted yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lucy. My name is Chelsea Lambert, and I just recently joined the AYC board as vice president and marketing and website committee chair. And as the marketing and website committee chair, I'll be presenting this report for you guys today. So it's been really exciting summer since I joined for myself. Just getting involved in the community and giving back is very important to me. And so, and the website and Marketing Committee, we are in charge of organizing and getting out the marketing materials for AYC. So we work very closely with all the other committees to organize and plan events and gather the information that we need so that we can build and post on social media such as Facebook and Instagram. Kelsey does a great job with putting out our constant contact emails. And so we just work closely together. It's been really exciting on our committee as we've grown from 2 to 7. And so that really has increased the bandwidth for our ability to help manage and keep things manageable for each committee member. So that, nobody gets burned out or has, a workload that's unmanageable for them. And so that's been really exciting as we've been able to, increase our visibility and amount of posting that we can do online for especially Facebook and Instagram. And some of our goals for, as we've grown is to utilize and create a newsletter for AYC, which has been in the plan for quite a few years now. And now that we have more people available to help, we can make that come to fruition. Some of our other goals that we have coming up are to help streamline the process as we grow as a committee and community. And so that is creating kind of a streamlined process of gathering the information we need from the events and membership committees. And then we all have that information in one spot and can just be more efficient with how we utilize our time. And so that's kind of in a nutshell what we're doing as the marketing and website committee. And so I'll turn it back over to Lucy.
Thanks, Chelsea. Next up, we have the membership and fundraising report from Erin Stamets. Oh, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sorry. Here I am. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I have to apologize because I'm kind of in the middle of a cold, and so my voice sounds a little nasally. So bear with me. As Lucy said, my name is Erin Stamets. I am the chairperson of the Membership and Fundraising Committee and work alongside Tracy Mortensen and Corey Hildebrandt on this committee. The purpose of the Fundraising and Membership Committee is to promote the growth and vitality of Abundant Yoga community through membership recruitment and fundraising efforts. So basically, we are charged with recruiting new members and retaining our current members. We do this through an annual membership drive and other membership efforts that we talk to about, of course, within our committee, and then also just kind of the board at large. We facilitate, we brainstorm, plan, and facilitate fundraising efforts as agreed upon by the committee and the board. And we also review and determine AYC membership levels for both personal and business members. So kind of to take a look at what we've done this year in coordination and compliance with our charter, we did conduct our soft membership drive back in January of 2023, so beginning of the year. At which time we reached out to approximately 50 current members, which has grown since then. We're happy to say it's around 50 at the time. We sent renewal letters out to each of those from our database and had good success with that effort. We plan to conduct this membership drive at the beginning of every year in order to prompt renewal of memberships and increase engagement with our active members. We also, following up with that, did our annual yoga fundraiser. This is a 3-part fundraiser. We did that in February of this last year. And this is something that we plan to continue. We've talked about possibly moving the date of this just to hopefully increase attendance. And so we might kind of shift that around. But basically, this is an effort that we think is just good for raising visibility. It engages our teachers. And it's something we've also talked about using as kind of passive income. If we keep the 3-part fundraiser available for purchase, kind of just whenever people would like to have access to it, that's something that we've talked about doing, is just a way to kind of have passive income throughout the year. And we would like to thank our 3 teachers who helped volunteer teaching those classes to make that event possible once again. And then lastly, our big push, where we really put the lion's share of our kind of time and energy this year, was for our annual event, which was held on October 1st at the Hudson Studio, the Inspiring Actions Hudson Studio. On this day, we shared space with 8 local vendors who were promoting their goods and services. In addition to that, we had several mini sessions, I believe 6, that were offered throughout the day. These sessions were very well attended and received a lot of positive feedback. And so again, we'd like to thank anybody who was involved with teaching or offering their services that day. From that event, we generated 4 new business memberships, which is awesome, and also a handful of new personal memberships. And it was just great to have conversations and make new connections with people walking through the door that day. It was some familiar faces and several new faces. And so we definitely considered that as a success. We believe that from this event, we learned a lot, and we were very excited and have a lot of great ideas about how we think we can improve upon and build up this event in the coming years. So thank you, everyone. That was definitely a joint effort, and we couldn't have done it without the entire board. So thank you, especially the marketing committee. I should have said that earlier. You guys really stepped up and helped promote that. So thank you very much. So I guess in closing, we just like to say that we are always open to ideas as far as ways that we could boost membership, fundraising ideas. One of the things we talked about at our last meeting is that, you know, in a perfect world, membership and fundraising would be 2 separate committees, because to try to do both, it is a lot. And so we, you know, do the best we can with the 3 people we have on the committee. And so if anybody's interested, you know, being part of this committee, let us know. we could definitely use the help as everybody could, but we you know, have enjoyed everything that we've done this year, and I think as a team we work really, really well together. One of the goals that we did also talk about for next year is just, and it's very broad, but it kind of builds upon something Tracy said earlier, is we just really feel like overall we could increase our visibility in the community. And so we really just kind of have been brainstorming the community events that we really would like AYC to participate in, have a table set up at, maybe just reach, you know, an audience that we wouldn't necessarily reach otherwise. And so kind of thinking outside of the box with that, and bringing AYC, you know, even just kind of outside of what may be considered the organic yoga community, and just try to kind of reach a broader audience and just let people know who we are. And that's something that we'd really like to accomplish for 2024. So that's what I've got. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen. All right. Next is the Finance Committee report with Corey and Tracy.
Hello. So again, I'm Tracy. I'll be presenting on the Finance Committee and the treasurer. Corey is the chairperson and acting treasurer, but I'll be kind of getting into the numbers a little bit more. And so I'll be presenting all that information in a little bit. Anyone who knows me knows that I love numbers. So I'm in my happy place. So the Finance Committee, so our bylaws state that the treasurer is...
Oh, Aaron Austin, your mic is on.
I thought I was hearing voices in my head. Okay, anyway, back. So the finance committee, our bylaws state that the treasurer is the chair of the finance committee. So the finance committee is charged to develop and review fiscal procedures, fundraising plans, and the annual budget. We submit an annual report to the board showing income, expenditures, and pending income. Make the financial records of the organization public and available upon request of membership, board members, and the public. And the committee supports the treasurer in the treasurer's duties, which are overseeing all finances of AYC, to make recommendations to the board concerning assets and liabilities of AYC, ensure that an audit of the books is done annually, report the financial condition of AYC at each board meeting, and then provide an annual report at the annual meeting. So we have spent, so our former treasurer resigned last year around this time, and we've been looking for a treasurer ever since. And we were so fortunate to have Corey Hildebrandt step into this position to help out. And Corey's been amazing at keeping this area of the organization organized. So she's been acting interim treasurer, and we are restructuring, seeking a treasurer, and put out some different feelers throughout the year, or the years throughout the year, and recently posted something on LinkedIn, which was Corey's idea, and have somebody that is considering that position, given they get more information. So that's where we're at with recruiting. And then we, the treasurer, the committee chair, same person. So Corey has provided our bi-monthly financial reports to the board. So every time our board meets, she provides that information to give us a check-in where we're at financially. Corey also recommended, because we have had a year of growth, that we had a good amount of money sitting in our checking account, and Corey researched some different investment possibilities, and we ended up 2 or 3 months ago opening an Edward Jones investment account, which is earning, at the time it was over 5%, and the money is still very liquid. We can get our money within a day if we need it. So that was a really smart move and suggestion. And then Corey also dug around a little bit more into our PayPal account. All of the money we take in through business and personal memberships is run through our PayPal account, and she helped finish that process of setting us up as a charity, so we get better pricing through our donations that we receive through PayPal. And then we set up this PayPal charity account, which is, it's a free, it's basically, it'll allow us to do fundraising in the future where we don't have to pay additional fees. Like, we have to wait a little bit to get the money, but it's a free account for us to generate revenue and not pay the fees associated with a regular PayPal account. So that is something that we'll look at more within the next year. Next, I wanted to give a shout out. We got a pretty hefty, thoughtful donation from Starry Light Collective for almost $6,500. So Starry Light is a local nonprofit out of Minnesota that was closing, and one of the members graciously donated this amount because they understand what we're about and wanted to support our cause. So a shout out to them. Our goals for 2024. So the biggest goal is to fill our treasurer position. As wonderful as Corey has been, she's really just helping out. This isn't like where she wants to serve in other areas in the organization. So so we want to help her, like Lucy said, we want this to bring everybody joy, and we're hoping that we can find a finance person that really that understands QuickBooks is really helpful to navigate, reconciling our checking account and providing the reports are a big thing. So our biggest goal is really to fill the treasurer position and continue building up this leg of the organization. Also, I just wanted to mention that it's a goal, and Corey's been good too about nudging about creating an official annual budget now that we're more established. So we've been, now that we have funds, that's a goal that we're going to be working on throughout the rest of this year to prepare for next year. Okay, so looking at numbers. So this is a fiscal year comparison, which means that we take from what we did since our last annual meeting to this annual meeting. So you can see the date span at the top of the chart. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this really has been a year of growth. Our percentage changes are kind of off the charts, which I'm like, do I still put this? But I mean, it's really, we've grown, quite a bit with our donations. The Starry Light collective donation is included in this, just compared to, last year, as we were, this was a big restructuring year, as Lucy mentioned. So you can see that in the numbers, we kind of coasted. And then this year we really got down to it, this is the Big Ideas grant. It shows our membership dues have stayed fairly the same. And then we're starting to get a little bit of income, dividend income, interest income. So if you look at the percentages, it kind of makes me giggle because they're so big. So anyway, so that's a snapshot at those numbers. And then more pictures, so pie charts. So this is really nice to show the spending summary of the organization, which again, I'm really, really proud of, because we are really, really smart with our money. And it shows here in this picture that between programming, which is when we offer grants to people, and between scholarships, the personal scholarships that people apply for to take yoga in a studio environment, we're at about 73%, and a benchmark goal for a nonprofit is typically about 50%. So this is fascinating numbers. So the money that we collect really does go to our mission. And this is proving it right here, and the money we are spending, in my opinion, is going to the right place. We want to keep getting the word out in our advertising and marketing, and then we have our miscellaneous costs. So I'm really proud at how efficiently we operate, and we can do this because the board and everybody it's a 100% volunteer organization. Line graph. So this is just showing how our checking account balance has ebbed and flowed over the year, this past year. So we started out about 10,000, and this is where we deposited the big ideas grant money. Then we were spending down that money, and then we got the $6,500 donation, and then we've been spending down that money. And again, this is good because this money is going to support the programs and scholarships. I just wanted to say again, thank you to everybody who's put in the time and the effort and has hung in there. And those of you that are inquiring today, that are taking your time to be here, I just really appreciate you being open to hearing what we're doing and considering joining the cause. So that wraps up my finance committee report.
Can I just add one thing about the last graph?
Yeah.
I don't have it between the slides. Yeah, just to clarify, just in case, because I'm just notating that this checking account balance also went down by $10,000 when we opened the Edward Jones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
yes,
showing like now that we have about $10,000 is we actually have more like 20-some thousand. Just to clarify that.
Yes, thank you. I totally forgot about that.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to add that. Thank you for doing that, Tracy.
Yeah.
And so next slide, I think so I'm again Corey Hildebrand, and I think you've kind of heard the theme through and through this morning that we are always pleased to have more people involved, and there's many different ways that you can get involved to support AYC. So there are personal memberships that are open to anyone starting at $20. So we have a $20, $60, $100, and those are annual. We also have business memberships, or sometimes we might refer to them as sponsorships. And so those are $100, $200, and $300 ranges. And anytime, we are always happy to accept a one-time donation that can be done through our website. Now that we have that PayPal charity link, there's no fees that are taken out. So that's super awesome if the funds are sent through that charity donation PayPal link. When we do karma yoga and those types of things, we accept also some cash donations that we'll deposit. You're always welcome to attend any event that we have, to support it, to share it on your socials, to invite people you know. Very much so. I mean, this organization is run by volunteers, and it's awesome. You said the marketing committee has 7 people now. I found myself feeling a bit envious over here on the finance committee of 2, or the membership and fundraising committee of 3. We would love, 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 love more volunteers. We are always open to suggestions. There's a link on the AYC website where you can put suggestions in. Trying to think. Oh, and I think it's been kind of probably heard for most people that we're really in need of a treasurer. So if you in your network, if you know of anyone, yeah, we would love to find someone to fill that role for AYC in a more kind of permanent capacity. Yeah, and please, like, anyone can reach out to any of us on the board if you have any questions about getting involved. We would be honored to have you.
All right, thank you, Corey. And so now, gosh, impressed with our time here. Anyone that's with us today is just an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have, or suggestions, of course. So we'll just give a few moments here to see if anyone who's joining us today has any questions. All right. Well, we must have done a fantastic job explaining about AYC. And, but of course, like Corey had said, if there's any suggestions that you have, there's a really easy suggestion box on the website. So that's it. We're ending on time. How wonderful. So thank you to those that are joining us today for showing up. And I know that there's a number of people who asked for the recording. So the recording will be sent out whenever Tracy has a chance. And so board members, we're going to meet for about a half hour after this. So if you could stay on. And once again, Jennifer and Erica, thank you for joining us today in person. And for those of you that will be watching later, thank you too. So I am calling this meeting to a close. Do I have any objections? All right. Thanks so much. Okay.